and listen to good things. We are streaming live over at SuperTalk.fm. We're also streaming from that SuperTalk Mississippi app and your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. But if you'd like to, you can watch us. We are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. Now, you know on Good Things, I like to bring you fun stories around sports, particularly those that are not highlighted often. And today's no different. Today we're going to learn about the sport of strongman here in Mississippi. And to do that, I brought two of the strongest ladies I know into the studio to share us a little bit more. We've got Candace Morphis. She's from Houston, Mississippi, and a competitor. And Jaime Douglas, also a competitor, but also a coach and an encourager and once an event promoter for strongman here in our state. So welcome to you both.
Hi.
I liked that. I was like, man, I got two ladies to come in and share a little bit about the sport of strongman, because it's not just for the ladies, but it's also definitely not just for the boys. Okay, Jaime, I'm going to start with you because you've been in this sport in our state for a little bit longer, and I feel like it's underground. Now that I have personally gotten into the sport of strongman, I recognize, man, it's a small community like so many other sports, but it's so much larger than I had ever imagined until I dipped my toe into it. But when people ask you about the sport of strongman, first, how do you describe just the sport in and of itself?
Yeah, so a lot of times people will ask, and they're like, oh, so what are you competing in? Like, what are you training for? And so I'm like, I'm competing in strongman. And they're like, deer in headlights, like, what is that? And the best way to describe it is it's a strength sport. So we're competing in strength sports. So we have categories of powerlifting, strongman, bodybuilding, Highland Games, all kind of different things that fall into it. But strongman is probably what you saw on Christmas morning back a decade ago, World's Strongest Man. You see the Alice Stones, the kegs, and they're like, oh, yeah, I've seen that. I know what that is.
So where you throw the kegs?
Yes, and exactly, it is. I was like, but it's a little bit more. Like, normally, you're going to see 5 events, and in those 5 events, you're going to be able to try to compete for points and then try to make it. Like powerlifting, you're going to see only 3. You got your squat, your bench, and your deadlift. Bodybuilding, you're on stage, naked, tanned up, and pretty much wearing nothing. So we're not necessarily that. Strongman's a little bit different to where it is a strength sport, but anybody can compete in it. So it's so much fun.
And
I try to get
one of my goals
of
of today is to talk about it, get people interested in it, and explain that, the people of all ages and stages in life can try new things. And Candace, you and I both are competitors, getting to go to that next level, which we'll get to, but came into the sport at, as a master.
Yeah, I was a novice master. I done my first competition at 41.
Yeah, and so that was me. I would have been 40, 41, coming up on maybe a year and a half, 2 years, and almost 42. And when people hear that, they go, wow, like you started that so late in this. I know some listening to Good Things are thinking, oh, you're you don't even know what late is in terms of that. But when you think about strength sports specifically and women, you don't necessarily think of them finding something in their late 30s or early 40s. So how did you find the sport of strongman, Candace?
I was scrolling on Facebook one day and I saw some videos of just like different people doing different lifts, and one video in particular that really stands out to me is an athlete named Gabby Dixon. She was doing the Hercules hold, where you have to hold the big
Samson in the Bible. That's how I would describe it.
Yeah. And when I saw that, I was like, that is amazing. I was like, I want to do that. And it just kind of inspired me to look more into it. And
so where'd you go next? I mean, because that's one of the barriers, Jaime, that I think, hinders the sport in our state is there's not just specific gyms for it. You kind of have to build your own home gym, or you have to find maybe a functional fitness gym that has some of the equipment with it. So it's not, that can be a big barrier. So Candace, when you had that idea, like, man, I want to do that. I mean, did you just go build you a gym in your garage?
Well, I worked out in just like a conventional gym for probably the first year, and then the deeper into the sport I got, I started, me and my best friend Linda, we started buying up stuff together, and we have just eventually acquired our own gym, so we just do it at home now.
So how long have you been competing now?
This December will be 2 years.
Will be 2 years. Yeah. And next week you find yourself on the world stage.
I know. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's super crazy. So, Jaime, talk about the competitive part of strongman. So it's a sport, but there's also events here in Mississippi. I know Mississippi Strongest is an event that you helped run or put on for several years. And then, but that leads into other things. So if you want to be a competitor, which you don't have to be, you can just enjoy the sport for what it is. But most like to go to the local meets and show off their events and such. How does that work?
So if you're interested in getting involved, the first thing you want to try to do is find a competition that you want to get into. So there's a lot of different avenues. You can go on Facebook and search. You can go just Google search and look. But the best place that you're going to be able to find something is on Iron Podium. So ironpodium.com. It is a website that was created through United States Strongman, and it was designed for promoters to be able to put their competitions out there to help it get seen. Because again, even though strength athletes and promoters are great at what they do, sometimes social media and technology, they kind of didn't do the best at kind of putting their competition out there. But with a platform like Iron Podium, it really helped get the information across and make it shareable and easy to find. So you can go on there and like just search your location, kind of where you are, browse the dates and kind of see what's going on. And it's going to help you find kind of what you're looking for. So in Mississippi, it is starting to grow a lot more because we didn't have a state chair for United States Strongman and Strongman Corporation for a very long time. It wasn't until 2021 when I know I stepped into it. And then when we finally got a USS, which is United States Strongman, which is a different federation, we finally got a state chair for that too. Then we started seeing a little bit more. And then we had a lot of unsanctioned, which just means it's not connected with a certain federation. That started popping up in Mississippi too. So we've seen a big launch happen since then. But the best place, again, going back to if you want to see where to start, search on Facebook, go to Iron Podium, start browsing, start looking, because all the events are going to be there. If you see something like, oh, that's about an hour or 2 hour drive for me, let me click on it. It'll have the events that are kind of on there. You can kind of see if that's something you're interested in doing. And then also reach out to the promoter. Go find, they probably will have an Instagram page because we are getting better at getting that information out there. Follow an Instagram page, ask questions, and then start getting involved that way. So as a getting started, where do I go first? That's the first place you do is go find something you want to do first and then start.
And I feel like it's by word of mouth. Like friends are the gateway drug into the sport of strongman, which Candace, I know you and your dear friend Linda, that's pretty much. So who brought who in first? Did you bring Linda into the sport or Linda bring you into the sport?
I brought her into it. And like whenever I had told her about it, she's like, there's no way I can do that. And I'm like, yes, you can. I was like, because if I didn't think you could do it, I wouldn't even brought it up. And we've competed together several times and we've trained countless hours, and so yeah, we both love it.
And her grip strength is unbelievable.
Yes.
Shocking.
Which is very important in the sport of strongman.
Yeah.
So Candace, a couple years ago, what was the first competition that you signed up for here in Mississippi?
Mississippi Strongest. And bless Jamie's heart, I know whenever I signed up, I asked her 11 questions. Like, I'm sure she was so sick of me by the time the day got here, because I felt like I was just keeping her DMs just lit up because I had all the questions.
You know, you've grown enough as an athlete that you're making it to that next level, but at the beginning you weren't. You were a true novice in that, Candace. And so you never saw yourself necessarily going around the world to compete.
Oh, no.
So what was it about at least stepping out and having the courage? Because that's something I want to relay to others listening who, you know, may just have an itch to scratch or want to try something new or need a new community or something of that nature or see it on TV and think it's cool. What gave you the courage to maybe, you know, sign up and do something you were completely new at?
Well, I mean, I had thought about competing for a little bit, and I kind of in my mind, I'm like, can I do it? Can I not? Will I look dumb if I go out there and do it? And finally, I just decided, I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to go, just do it, and just take a chance. And
what was your best memory from the Mississippi Strongest, the first one?
The truck pull. That's my hands down all-time favorite event I've ever done. I've only done it once, and no comp I've done since then has offered that. And
so, Jamie, when you hear something like a truck pull, that makes people's eyes like pop out. What does that translate to in a gym in terms of like something more people are probably doing than they recognize? Strongman just adds the cool implement of let's pull a truck with it.
Yeah. So a lot of people say, well, I don't have that equipment. I can't train. I can't do that because there's no way I can even, like, how am I supposed to find that? Strength carries over. Like, general strength will carry over into the sport. Like, you're probably doing a lot more event training than you think you are just from normal strength training. And the whole point of getting people to sign up is to give them those cool things. Like, yeah, you got to pull a truck. When we did the very first comp I ever did, we got, bless their hearts, it was downtown Jackson, and we got the fire chief down there let us use a fire truck to do a fire truck pull. And most people wanted to sign up for that because they wanted to pull a fire truck, and that was a big deal. So getting people to kind of get locked in, like, I want to do that. And it's like, well, you can because you're already strong enough to do it.
You are already strong enough to do it. And we've got more with the sport of strongman with Jaime and Candace coming up next here on Good Nation. You can watch us too. We are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. We're still continuing our conversation with Miss Candace and Miss Jaime, both here to talk about the sport of strongman in our great state, because all three of us qualified to go to the World Championship in Ireland that's coming up next week. And I thought, what a fun day to send me off, because I won't be here with you next week because I will be exploring the world, but also talk about a sport that I love and it's brought me so much joy in the last couple of years at my age, and to let you know that other people are doing it too in our state. Okay, Jaime, let's talk about the way that we all three qualified for this next level. You mentioned different federations. So ours is a little bit different than maybe the traditional people see on TV. So explain how we got to where we're going.
Well, it's probably my fault because I really wanted a natural drug-tested strongman competition in the state of Mississippi, in this country, like in the United States of America. So I reached out to Zach, and I was like, who is over the Healthplex over in Clinton, and I was like, hey, we really should do this competition. In reality, I wanted it to be here because I wanted to qualify and I wanted to go because I was a Strongman Corporation state chair, and so I couldn't put it on because I kind of had, signed, certain things with them that I can't run outside federations with them, but I still wanted it here. So I kind of twisted his arm a little bit and convinced him. I was like, listen, this will be really big. I promise you'll get a big turnout because this is something that
it's growing in our country,
exactly.
And much less growing in our state. Yeah.
And so, ta-da!
Because the sport of strongman, when you think about it in terms of popularity, where is it most popular?
It's pretty low. It's a very niche sport because it hasn't been very big. It's very big in Europe.
That's what I'm saying. It's
huge
in Europe. Yeah,
and it's one of their sports they really love, and they love to watch it. But it just hasn't been as big here, just because, like I said earlier, the lack of knowledge about it and the lack of promotion, and then just it hasn't been as popular because people don't think they can do it. They see something, they're like, oh, that's made for men who are 400 pounds and 6'7". I'm not that.
Nope. You got three ladies here.
And so
Jamie's the youngest.
Yeah. So to me, I think that's what we needed. And I'm really, really thankful that, so this is a whole nother federation because you have to have like memberships to federations to compete in that one. So this is its own little entity, but there's a lot of other ways you can be involved. But that big reason why it got here is because I really wanted it.
And we love that. And so I think too, what people don't realize is one of the only qualifiers in the entire country right here in Clinton, Mississippi.
It's huge.
He had over close to 100 or 100 athletes coming over from all over the United States here to Clinton, Mississippi to try to bid their go to the next, which would be the World Championships. And Candace, you and I were, and Jaime, you were all one of them. Was it that it was actually here and available in our state that made you want to give it a try?
It was just the heaviest comp that I'd seen come across, and I'm like, well, I want to give that a try. Go have fun with it and see what happens.
And when you realized you won and you got your invitation, what was that like?
It was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. I keep telling myself, I'm like, you're going to get an email saying, never mind, you're not really invited, but I haven't gotten it yet.
No,
so.
You are invited, and you're headed to the next level to Ireland, which you will not actually go this time, Jaime, but you did qualify, where so many of us will be. We're the only three ladies, I guess, here in Mississippi that qualified and to go. I don't know how many I think we're the only two Mississippians that are going.
Correct.
In that way, but it will be over 250 athletes from 30 countries will be represented there in Ireland next week. But Jaime, I wanted to go back to, you mentioned like the different events, because when people watch, it is a lot of different events, but you can all be summed down into 5 modalities, I guess.
Exactly.
So if you wanted to get into the sport of strongman, what should you be focused on in terms of training?
So in any typical strongman competition, there'll be 5 events. If you get to a nationals and worlds, you may see 6 or 7, but outside of that, you're going to look at 5. You're going to have some type of press, whether that is a log press, axle, barbell, dumbbells, anything over your head. So there's going to be some type of press. So work on your overhead, work on your chest strength, like all that needs to be involved. That's event 1. Then you're going to have some type of deadlift. It may be a standard deadlift bar. It might be a side handle. Could be a car deadlift. A ton of different variations that go involved with the deadlift. You'll have some type of moving event. So you're going to move a yoke. Farmers, moving with heavy weight is the biggest way to describe it. So moving from point A to point B with weight on you or in your arms or in your hands. Then most promoters will either pick a load, whether it's a Atlas stone, a keg, sandbag, some type of loading event. A lot of static movement, but you do have some movements. Some promoters will throw kegs and sandbags. I don't love a throw. People do love it. It is part of the sport. You got to get good at it. You got to throw things, but it's either for distance or height. And then the last thing, you may either have a front hold or some type of hold event, whether it's to work on your grip or your static hold strength that you're going to see in there. So those 5, working on that static strength, your deadlift, your press, working on moving from point A to point B with something kind of heavy, whether it's on your back or in your hands, and then work on your grip. You've got to work on your grip strength. Otherwise, you're not going to make it very far.
In Strongman. Candace, what's your favorite event?
My favorite event, axle clean and press,
What's your heaviest to date?
170.
Now, you're pretty dang good for an old lady.
I
At a deadlift. I'm winking at you. What's your best deadlift?
The heaviest deadlift I've done is 385 on like the standard bar. So
What do your kids think about it? Because you've got children. How old are your kids?
my son's 19 and my daughter's 17. And all their friends say, I'm not messing with your mom.
So, that's 385. Remind me your age.
43.
43 is pretty dang impressive in that way.
Thank you.
What are you most looking forward to in Ireland?
Just getting to see the sights and just I want us to verify if everything I've seen online if it's as pretty as it is in person as it is online.
It is. What event are you looking forward to in Ireland?
The Hercules hold.
Because that goes back full circle for you,
Yes,
because that is the
absolutely.
event that
Yeah.
you saw that sort of inspired you.
Yes, ma'am.
When we hear these things, Jamie, so many listening, if they got into the sport of strongman, it's also good functional fitness for every day, lifting, pressing. How do we do it safely? Because it can be scary when you see the things on TV.
It can, and a lot of people do have that worry. I've been in personal training for over a decade, and that's a big fear people do have, is they come in being like, I don't want to hurt my back, I don't want to hurt that. And I'm like, as long as you do it correctly, do the proper form, don't just pick up heavy weight because you want to try something heavy. Take time to get stronger. Take time to actually invest in your own strength training. Get a coach, get a trainer, have somebody help you to develop from the starting point to the world level like y'all are going to be here soon. But take your time. Like, this is not a rush. It isn't trying to get as fast as strong as you can in 2 months. It's about how strong can you be at 60, 70, 80. And it's to do it the correct way, because if you get hurt, it's going to really slow down your progress. So take your time, do it properly, ask for help, and you can get a lot further along safer.
Candace, for those listening that are still, I love again that it ended up being three lovely ladies talking about strongman here today. It's definitely a male-dominated sport, and they have their place. But for the ladies listening, and maybe strongman's not their thing, but just getting into the gym, deadlift, like trying different things. What's your inspiration, or what is your little tell them to do it, inspire them? Your plea. Couldn't think of the word.
If it's something that you think you might like, just go for it, and it'll either go or it won't. You never know till you try. And if you figure out that you do love it, get you a good coach. I'm so thankful for mine. Chris Jacchio with Shield Wall Strength. Like, he's really taught me so much in the time that I've worked with him. And
you've got other great supporters behind you.
Absolutely.
Who else? Is it Kryptonite? Who?
Kryptonian Lift, yes. Mr. Preston. Great sponsor, got a great team there. Of course, all the other ladies that I've met along the way, you and
Absolutely.
Jamie,
I would say the community
Yeah.
has been one of the best parts about this, for sure. You may want to take a minute, though, and apologize to your neighbors, because you get up at the break of dawn in your driveway and lift and work out. So no excuse. You found a way to figure it out, even if there's not a gym near you.
Exactly. There's always a way to make it happen. It may not be conventional. Sometimes I have to do it, but And also, yes, I apologize to my neighbors.
They probably already know that. Jamie, is there somewhere people can go to learn more? Is there like a Mississippi Strongest? Is there a Facebook page? Is there something where people want to get more connected with strongmen in our state that they can go to?
Absolutely. So we do have our Facebook page, Mississippi Strongest. We have Instagram pages. There's multiple Mississippi Strongest. If you see them, they're probably to promote the actual event. So follow those pages. It's going to tell you when the shows are going to be, what the events are, how to train for them. gym. Everything you're going to need is going to be on there. So just all you have to do, Instagram search Mississippi Strongest, Mississippi Strongman. It'll pop up. Facebook will do the same.
All righty. Well, I say, Candace, good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so
much.
much.
As for me, but I'm excited because we get to go and meet and be a part of something, and we're taking, or at least I'm taking my kid with me, but your kids are getting to watch us sort of do this, and I think that's really cool. So I appreciate both of your time.
Yes, ma'am.
But you guys stick with us. We got Tanya for movies coming up next.